सुबह के 6 बजे। हमें एग्जैक्ट डेस्टिनेशन का पता नहीं है, but we are setting out on our trip. We'll be going somewhere in Idukki. The exact name of the location I won't be able to tell now, but yeah, I hope it will be a good place. I've seen some tree houses and some other rooms in the forest, so we'll be able to spend some time there. See you again more on the road. So next we picked up Manoj and his family, who are my brother-in-law's family friends. And just like I told you just now, I had looked up for homestays for like an hour or so the previous night, late at the night, I think 10:30 or 11 I started. I found one homestay on Camp Monk. So Camp Monk is again a website that I had previously used in Bangalore once. So they offer camping sites and homestays in different tourist places, right? So the name of the site was Spice Garden Retreat, but because it was late in the night, although Camp Monk got an intimation of my travel request, but I would be getting a confirmation the next day. So that's what the website told me. So till now we didn't have any fixed destination in mind. So I called him up at around 8 in the morning. At that point of time also the website was down, so I couldn't reach out to them. So I searched up the resort on Google. It didn't come up. The name of the resort was something that I couldn't find. So Spice Garden Retreat I was able to find, but at all different locations, not at the site which I had in mind in Idukki, right? I looked around the place on Google Map. I finally was able to find out that resort, but it was not named Spice Garden openly. That was a secret name from Camp Monk. So the actual name of the resort was Tulsi Garden Resort, I think. So I called the resort up because the number was available online. So there that guy told that everything is fully booked, so they don't have any option left for us. So then I started searching again. That's when I came across Merosh Homes. So there were just one or two pictures on the website, or not exactly on the website, on Google Maps, right? I called him up. That guy said that yes, rooms are available. He gave me actually a very good bargain deal price. So I got a room, 2 rooms and a kitchen with attached bed for the amount. I'll tell you the amount at a later point in the video. So for now, the final site was in mind. So we became more at peace now that the destination was there. So the next thing that came to our mind was that we needed to have some food somewhere. And because it was Easter holiday, not a single restaurant on the way was open. We stopped at multiple locations, but we could not find any place to eat anywhere. I mean, this is amazing. We are at that, you can see, right? All the shops are closed. Everything is closed. The Boo was actually getting angry that we don't have anything to eat. And the journey of around 2.5 hours was still left. See, this is one more location where we stopped again. Although you can see the facade open, but there was no food inside. They were not selling any food. So yeah, for like 1.5 hours, we ran completely on hungry stomach. So मैंने पूरे रास्ते भर में we were searching for a restaurant to have something, but कुछ नहीं मिल रहा था. फाइनली जाके एक मैगी स्टॉल मिला. यहाँ पे हम लोग अभी मैगी खाएंगे. ये रहा पीछे में स्टॉल. Now because we had gotten a shared kitchen, next started my grocery shopping. So just beside that Maggie wala stall, there was this vegetable cum grocery store from where all the raw materials were purchased. So we were all set to have our own home cooked meals even at the pristine location. Then we started on our route again. So this is the Puvalu Dam that we crossed. Again, there were multiple reservoirs and dams in that area. So this was one of the larger ones. As you can see the view around this dam. So this is the dry side of the dam. On the other side is the wet side where all the water is reserved. Now we are just about to reach our location when we got one more idea. We will have our food on banana leaves. So there are all these banana plants all across the road, and this is something that my sister came up with, and Manoj basically helped in getting the leaves. So finally we reached the town where our homestay was supposed to be, Merosh Homes. So the name of this post office is Cavalry Mount Church. There is a church at the town square, and so on the left, the road that you saw, right? I'll show you again. So yeah, so this is the road that I was talking about. So the incline of this road was around 50 degree plus. So we were thinking for quite some time whether we take the risk of going up, whether our car will even go through that road. But then we saw some rickshaws and even a wagoner coming down, which boosted our confidence. So this is the church I just told you about, right? So this is Mount Cavalry Church. This is the cornerstone of this township. We bought some more vegetables, and we had also bought some chicken on the way. We got some cold drink also. Then we started for this final leg of the dangerous journey. So camera, this is the thing about camera. So camera, however much harder we try, we will not be able to grasp the steepness of a slope. When we just came near that slope, I mean, I'm trying to capture as much detail as possible, but then it would seem to you, right, that the slope is very gradual. And what's the big deal about this? But no, if you were there, you would have realized how steep it was. And we were thinking again and again, I mean, whether my car would be able to pull us up in case we had to stop somewhere on the midway. But then just enjoy the small road trip from the town square to the home site. The video is not even 10% of how steep and how dangerous the slope was. So it seems like that we have reached the most remote location possible in Idukki. Even the car will not reach the final hotel, so we have to walk some distance. So we are just about to reach our final destination, and boy oh boy, I'm so happy that this is something that I have chosen. I'll just show you around in a minute what it looks like. This is crazy. This is better than what I could have dreamt of. Just look at this cottage. Just look at this cottage. It seems like from another world. It's right at the slope of this steep hill. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I have no words. I'm speechless. No words at all. How could I find such a place? কি জায়গা এরকম জায়গা এর থেকে ভালো ড্রিমল্যান্ড এটা ড্রিমল্যান্ড তুমি লোকেশনটা দেখো না So as you can see, on one hand you have the tea gardens on the facade side of the cottage. You have the entire mountainous range that you can see. There are multiple layers of hills, the dense forest. One part of the house was on a rock, the other part was completely hanging over the cliff. The basins, the bathroom, everything was, everything reeks of premiumness. The property was built with passion. And now let me tell you how much did this cost, right? So this is one room. Again, just look at the view from here. Then that's the second room. Again, you have transparent windows on all sides just to give you a view of the beautiful place that you are in. You should consider yourself lucky to have ever experienced beauty like this, right? Each and every part of the cottage, it has been crafted with perfection. Everything looks so good. So this is the first floor, and just beneath this you have this again hanging stairs that are just flowing over the tea gardens below. And that's the cliff I was talking about. And there you have the bottom floor. So we didn't take this room, so there were three proper rooms and a kitchen with a bed attached. So we took two rooms, the top floor rooms and the kitchen with
ऑमलेट का तेल गया है। वाह, चिकन का भी वाइट ही है। चिकन अंग्रेज है। ओके, हाँ। चिकन जंगली
चिकन पूरा देसी जंगली बन जाएगा।
दादा रखो, धोए रखो इटा कैमराटा।
मीडिया प्लीज थोड़ा पीछे जाओ।
हेलो,
मैंने रिकॉर्ड वीडियो बटन दबाया नहीं था।
या आई विल जीपे ऑन दिस नंबर ओनली क्या? Yeah, just send me over WhatsApp. Our tasty chicken is ready. This is Junglee Chicken Pro Advance. Yeah. Our rice is also ready. Now Manoj is just drying the rice, and we are ready to start our feast. This is the kitchen, and just look the view from the kitchen. If this is not heaven, then what else is? This is not heaven, then what else is?
आइटम पे तो आधे के दे दो। यहाँ पे
आधे के दे दो। भूख कुंता पर देख दे तो ना।
राइस हो जाएगा क्या?
अभी ये लो,
बेड के ऊपर है, देखो बेड के ऊपर मैं ग्लास ले रहा हूँ।
बेड के ऊपर नहीं है फोन, ये रहा ना।
नहीं, मेरा फोन नहीं है।
नीचे रखिए क्या?
शायद।
By the way, this constant hissing sound that you hear in the background is basically the sound of all the bugs present in the wild forest. So it's extremely noisy, but then this is the noise of nature. So from our balcony we could also see the center of Idukki town. So there's a church at the center of Idukki town. I hope I had a better lens or a better camera that could have zoomed into it. So yeah, within a very few minutes or so, all these clouds started gathering around us from all across the mountains. You can see we were completely covered in clouds in some time, and that is when we also discovered rain for the first time. We could see how clouds covered us, and then finally it started raining. Just enjoy this time lapse. So it was, I think, 7 or 7:30 by the time when it had become completely dark, and we set up our bonfire. So we also wanted to make some chicken barbecue, but the thing is, whatever chicken we had brought, we had finished up by lunch only, and there were a few pieces left. We wanted to bring more chicken, but then when we called up the owner, he informed us that all the shops had closed. So these few pieces were the only things that we could convert to barbecue chicken. And yeah. So you can see a lot of pieces here, but then we were 7 people, and Boo Boo and Adi, they were like just crazy for chicken. They gobbled up like 90% of it. So for dinner, as chicken was completely finished, we had carried eggs. So I made again a tasty egg curry. That's what we had for dinner. So after dinner, we again sat on the fire till we had finished up all the wood. And by all means, the owner had given us ample quantity of foods, and we burned everything down. So yeah, that's where the day ended. So this was the view from my room early next morning. How many of us gets to have this kind of view while we wake up? And just imagine if we wake up to a view like this, what can happen to the rest of the day, right? These are the things that all of us always want and all of us wish to get. But yeah, it's only, I think, a very few days out of the entire lifetime that we will spend that we will actually get to see things like this. So yeah, have some more pleasant memories with views like this, so that all these entice you to visit places and explore the earth like I am doing, and also pray that I get to do the same throughout my life. Good morning. So it's around 7 AM in the morning, and you can see the morning freshness still in the air. There is still a lot of fog all around, and I was actually also waking up around 5:30 and 6. At that point of time there was a lot more fog all around, but I was a bit lazy to wake up and come out. So that's all that's left now. But yeah, it's completely chill, and the morning freshness is just awesome. I'll just take a stroll around the property. So I just checked it out. The name of this property is Merosh Homes, MEROSH, and the owner's name is Jojo. So that's the name that came up in Truecaller. I'll ask his name again personally also. So yeah, they made this property during the COVID work from home times. He's working in some IT company in Bangalore, and during COVID times they made this house for him and his family to live in. So he was staying here only. And over the course of time, as things started opening, I mean, through his own friend circle and colleagues, he found out that if he could rent the space out, he's able to earn much more than what he is currently doing. So that's when he started focusing on the business side of it, and offices also started opening. So 15 days he would have to go to office. The rest of the days he would put up this home for weekend getaways. And now he's sort of become a full-fledged professional, and he's also building, I think, 2 or 3 more such cottages around this place. And the property, everywhere I can see, so the property that he has is of, I think, 5 acres. So it's a pretty large property. And yeah, if you have a property like this, it's just time that will decide on when you will start earning the big bucks. Because tourists will always flock here in numerous numbers, and if you are able to have good imaginations in hospitality, you will be able to do something and then just open a infinite source of income. So as you can see, we left our car, I think 100 meters behind the cottage, and this is the actual route of the car. So, and it's partially, I would not say paved, but I can see the track of cars that would have been able to move over this lane that he had created. So he can either make it a paved road, and maybe he will do that when he also gets the rest of his cottages done. It's paved actually, so cars can directly reach the cottages instead of having to park cars outside. And these are all elaichi plants that you can see here. And then on the other side you have coffee and tea plantations. So it's a family business for him. His father is engaged in the spice trade. I think that's his home. There's the owner's home. Again, you can see all around these elaichi plantations. I'll show you some elaichi flowers and fruits also. See, you would have never seen elaichi flowers. So that's what elaichi flowers looks like. Elaichi or cardamom for my English friends. So just outside the property, there is a road again leading up to the topmost peak of the locality, and you can see all these coffee plantations and tea plantations all around. That's my brother-in-law and my sister. So just outside the cottage where we stayed, the owner was insisting that we go and see this, check out this viewpoint, and I'm almost about to reach that, and the view is amazing. I was pitying myself. If I hadn't come to this place, I wouldn't have been able to say it. So it's good to hear other people also. So the uncle you see us talking to, he is Mr. Jojo's father. So he had actually insisted us to go to the top of the peak and see the view from there of Idukki Reservoir. So he's also saying that a lot of Malayali superstars have bought plot in and around this place. So there in the distance on the hill that you can see in front of us, so somewhere there is actor Mohanlal's farm villa. Then there is also someone named Chiranjeevi. All these southern actors he was mentioning. And he was also telling that this is going to be a real big place pretty soon in future. And there are some premium hotels that are also being constructed right now. So now it's time to leave back to our city life, back to our regular drab life. It's the best sight ever. Hope I get a better sight than this in near future. Ready to leave? Anna, I paid up Jojo. I sent money to him. Payment is done. Jojo. Done. So you would have thought that after checking out the journey would have ended, but it didn't. So after traveling for some time, after checking out of our memorable cottage, we came across this mega structure. So this is the Idukki Dam. So there are two routes that reached up to the site that we stayed in. So one route actually passed through the Idoki Dam. There you can see the mega structure behind the tower line. So we had taken another route, so we didn't go over the dam. But yeah, the view from the position we were in was superb. And just looking at the village and resorts on the shadow of this dam, gave shivers to us. Just think about how strong and how responsible the dam has to be. If anything were to happen to it, everything that you can see downstream of this dam would be completely blown away in a puff. Nope, these are not red sandalwood. Any bunch of logs, if you would see after seeing Pushpa, the first thing that would come to me is Lal Chandan. So anyway, the road that we have taken now flows, the road passes parallel to the Periyar river. So on the right hand side you can see Periyar river, right? And the stretch is almost like 25 kilometers long. So it will pass through dense forest on one side, the river on the other side, and then post that river again dense forests and hills on the other side. So right now we are somewhere in the midst of Periyar National Park. So came from that direction. Just look at this huge hill. And these are again stony hills. There's the waterfall. Let's see if I can take a dip in the water here. And that's a small shack, but the only food available is kanji. So kanji is so it's a watery rice that you will find local Keralites having here. It's also called panta bhat or poita bhat in the east. We also used to have these when we were kids. Look at the view from this place. Amazing. Amazing view. Time for kanji now. So I was a bit apprehensive at first, but then I saw that kanji is nothing but what we used to have during our childhood. Now on this warm slippery rice, if you just add some salt and some vegetable fries, omelets, pickle, etc., the taste enhances. So that's what we had our kannji with some egg fry, some beans ka sabji, and some pickle with papad. So after that sumptuous meal, it was time for some nimbu pani. So that's the uncle of that shop preparing the nimbu pani, and time for this bubbly shake to go inside me. Now, just before having the kannji, I showed, right, the shack was beside a waterfall. I tried to find its source, and just look what I saw in front of me.
वाह इधर आ जाओ। अरे भाई क्या सही जगह। फक Look at this, what we have found out here. This was the only thing missing in the trip. अभी तो यहाँ पे नहाना ही है. And it looks also very safe. क्योंकि पूरा एक बैरियर सा बना हुआ है. So you cannot really get flushed away from this waterfall. पूरा अच्छे से बैरियर बना हुआ है.
So after cooling down in the waterfall for like 20-30 minutes, we started back on our journey towards Ernakulam. So we had a few more funny moments on the way, but then the video is already becoming too long. Hope I can keep on bringing videos like these that can soothe your eyes. Please like and subscribe. Thank you so much, guys.